Hey everyone, this is my reaction to the 12th and final episode of Yakusoku no Neverland. Now last episode, things have definitely gotten rolling. We set the place on fire, we pretended to, murder Ray with fire. But in secret, we just kind of left. She cut her ear off and left it there as a decoy and kind of ran off, and so did everyone else, and we're all gone. Except for one child. I believe it was Phil. And yeah, there was a child left behind there. Which is unfortunate because either A, he's now stuck there alone, that poor kid, or B, he's a dirty traitor that's gonna tell her all the secrets. Either way, it's unfortunate in some regards, so not a good thing that he's there regardless of what the motive is, of course. But yeah, hopefully this exit strategy still works, well enough. That's kind of what we're hoping for, but I don't know. I feel like things are just gonna fall apart and they're gonna catch us all and they're all gonna get spanked and some of them will get eaten and it'll be horrible. But yeah, let's just get into it and find out. 3, 2, 1, play. Nice. That should look terrifying before, but with a fire backdrop, yeah. We got rope. The wall's no match for us. Ah. Sound was just in this ear and it kind of freaked me out a bit. Like she yelled in my ear. It's a good question, because one of them may be a traitor. Well, apparently we couldn't take one of them. Yeah, they are definitely a burden, but Emma already established we gotta take everyone, so. The small children have plenty of time left to just be kids there, too. They have less reason to leave than the older kids that are like a year away from being shipped out and eaten. So it definitely makes sense. Although there's no building now. But there's always a but. I don't either. I don't want to see what happened to Connie happen again. Yes. What about them? I don't think we could. I don't think we could do such a large-scale revolt. And maybe they're happy there. Maybe they don't want to leave. You don't know that. I'll tell you what. If you want to go help them, you go do that, and we'll just leave. I mean, we don't know them. We really don't have to do anything to help them. They can figure that out themselves. Okay, so we are telling Phil something. How does he take this? Is he the traitor I think he is? Oh? Really? She did say that. I do remember that. Phrasing. Yeah, so apparently a very perceptive 4-year-old here. Most dialogue he's ever gotten. Okay, now it's just gotten sad. Uh, uh, uh. got very sad very quickly. Okay, so maybe Phil's not a traitor. He's got his own job. That's good. Yes, give this very important decision to this toddler. Yeah. Such a dark conversation. Wow, this kid. The things he can say with a big smile. Okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Okay, so we'll get to that eventually. I don't know. Where are you leading her, Phil? Because I already said you weren't a traitor, so don't make me have to double back. Hopefully he's just distracting her. Or, well, I mean, taking her to the little ones, that's fine. You're gonna leave these small children alone next to that big fire? What kind of mother are you? That was an expression change. The children have escaped. Sound the alarm. I don't know why that sounded funny to me. Well. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Things are getting serious now. High quality kids. Nothing very wrong with that same statement. Yeah, this... Oh god, these things... They could tear these children in half. Probably with one hand. Getting mixed signals from you, but... I guess she just did what she had to do for her job, but still hopes they escape. Still could have waited a little bit longer if that's the case to let them know. Oh? Then can you do that? It really is an impressive wall. It probably could keep out Titans. Let me see it. What are we looking at? Are we just looking at the cliff and are scared of it? Okay, so that's more or less our strategy. Okay, let's see how that goes. Just had to practice on the rock for a while. Don't hit the camera, dude. You're getting close. Very epic rock throwing. Okay, you look like you actually... You better hope that doesn't break. Oh god, I would be far too scared to do this. But yeah, I guess a freaked out look in his face before just because he knew what they were gonna do. And this would be some scary stuff. I wouldn't want to be the first one. I definitely wouldn't want to be the last one either. Oh, Emma. She just looks so excited. Man, they even got water bottle rockets. These kids are living the life there. I don't know why they want to leave. Okay, that's pretty smart. They only have one person do it initially, and he's there to help get the other one set up. Okay, so that way we have 3 and we don't have to worry about our 1 breaking. That's pretty cool. Definitely well thought out plan. I approve. Yeah, little did Mother know that we were practicing escaping all that time. You know, at some point, did you see the flashbacks? You're just seeing things, right? He's not actually there. I don't know what's real anymore. That's what he does. I still don't know if you're real or not, Norman, so I'm not gonna get excited. No, just train them, they'll be fine. Of course, just thanks to Emma, she is the MVP of this show. Yeah, everybody believes in Emma. I'm still a little bit surprised that she actually agreed to this whole leave the small children behind thing. Because it does kind of contradict what she's been saying for a while. And yeah, Norman was just his imagination. I figured. I just kind of wanted to believe that Norman just snuck out behind a tree and he was there. But no. Come on, don't hesitate. We need to get going quickly. Uh, I I really don't blame you, because I don't think I can do it either. That's a long way down. Like, what? I can't hear you. I'm sorry, Em, I don't mean to make fun of your hearing disability that you now have, but I needed to. Just throw them. They'll make it, probably. Jemima, that's certainly a name. Yeah, what about it? But that's a lot of extra weight if you go together. Yeah, I got the gist of it. I'm a genius. I got this. Stop cuddling, you two. We gotta go. Right, I'm sure. Just that just so looks so unsafe. We just have this clothes hanger just on a piece of paper over a giant cliff. Oh, that's so cool. Quick, before Mama gets us. Yep, we survived. We're past the cliff. Yeah. Now Emma, I think Emma's still over there, so she needs to hurry. Because I'm worried about Mother catching her. Because she's getting closer. Looks kind of funny just running on the wall like that. Okay, we already got our hands in position, so... Oh, she's already pretty close. Oh no, she's not too close. We can still jump before she gets to us. We just have to have this dramatic departure here, I guess. But she shouldn't actually be able to stop her. And man, is she sweaty. She definitely hasn't been practicing tag with us. Don't take your hand off of it, Emma. Yeah, she just left the kids behind. Can you believe that? Uh, funny. Yeah, we had some good times there, but it's time to leave. Before we're forced to leave. I mean, I'm sorry, Mother. I'm already pretty committed to this path. Everybody else is already on the other side of the cliff. I gotta go. Sorry, Mom. The bird's gotta leave the nest eventually. And you don't have a hanger, so you're stuck. And even if you did, yeah, we already cut it, so you're kind of screwed there, Mom. Goodbye. You smothered us too much, and now we're leaving you. Enjoy your cats. Well, she does technically with her kids, I guess. She doesn't need cats just yet. But yeah, we've 12 episodes and we finally actually got this far. I mean, we're not actually out in civilization yet, but we're across the cliff. It'd be really hilarious if they ran into another cliff, but no, that wouldn't happen. Snowy flashback. An instrument. Musical instrument. And a butterfly. But yeah, she obviously went to the wall as well when she was a kid. So who is playing? There's another kid. I assume he. I assume he's dead now. Scare the crap out of me, Isabella. Leslie. That's a name too. So he is blushing, okay. Yeah, definitely a different sort of Isabella. Which makes sense, she was a child, but... That's nice. But yeah, I'm sure Isabella and Emma would have been pretty good friends if they were here at the same time. As children, you know, same age. The impression I get. And, is this when he shipped out? Yeah, this is him being shipped out by the mother of the time. Come boy, it's time for you to be made as a snack for monsters. But yeah, does she know about it at that point? She was on the wall, but that doesn't guarantee anything. But, you know, that does make a big difference of how sad you are, but it's a fast running. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get down from there, young lady. Come back to the nest. Ugh. Yeah, this is when he got the bad news about what's gonna happen to him. Actually, no, that's... Never mind. I was not paying attention. That was Isabella. My bad. At first I thought it, like, was just showing him after he left, but no. Oh, wow. You need to lay out the Twinkies there, Isabella. The joke, I know she's pregnant. But, I mean, if she was, what happened to the baby? Yeah, I can tell me that was Emma. That'd be definitely an interesting twist. Man, that face. Isn't that just Ray? That's Ray, yeah. Well, that doesn't answer the question. Oh. Really? Actually, I have chills in this scene. Well then. You did. But, you know, again, don't do anything hasty while you're up here. I don't think they can hear you, but I'm sure they appreciate it nonetheless. The episode's almost over, so don't know if I'll actually get to see outside this forest area. Probably not. That is good to hear, but I mean, how long will they be safe is a big question. I mean, they were next to a fire, so they couldn't have been that cold. What is with that one kid's tiny eyes? A lot of the eyes kind of bug me with these kids. Some of them look like alien eyes. Well, we're now kind of homeless, so hope you kids enjoy camping. Because the other kids burned down the house and then left us to live in it. Yeah, but what exactly are we going to be going to? Have to find some sort of resistance or whatever. Well, we found light at least. I guess. And then roll credits. Wow, we got some revelations near the end there. Mother gave birth to Ray. That's a pretty big deal. For one thing, it means Ray's a natural born child, not a, you know, like a test tube baby like the other ones. I'm gonna miss this opening song so much. And also, that adds a new level to Isabella and Ray's relationship. Explains why they were, they had that closeness. It would be quite something if like every kid there was born from mom, so she literally was all their mothers. That'd be kind of funny, but I don't think that would work out. I definitely want to know more about that story, that whole pregnancy thing. Like, I imagine there'd be strict rules against human breeding in this world, but anyway. Okay. That was the 12th and final episode of Yakusoku no Neverland. And this episode, I apologize, Phil. I thought maybe you were a traitor of some sort just because you kind of gave me that vibe, but apparently I was wrong. No, you just had a very important job. You're pretty much just the leader of the kids that are left there, essentially. So, yeah, good job. So, if there's ever, like, a spinoff or whatever, that could be all about you trying to escape with the remaining kids, but, I think the main series will get into that at some point, so I know there's no reason to go down that road because Emma did say she would go back for them and the other plantation kids to help out. Now, obviously, we don't know for sure if that's going to happen or not, but it is the plan. So, Phil will be a little bit older at that point. The other kids will be older at that point. So, you know, I don't know how feasible that is, but I guess we'll see at some point, possibly. But we eventually made our way to the cliffs, and I was curious what we would do. We talked about the bridge, but apparently we decided that was not a good idea. Apparently we decided just jumping over the cliff was a better one. They didn't literally jump over the cliff. They got their, like, paper, cloth, whatever it was, attached a rock to it, threw it across, wrapped it around the branch, which they practiced rock throwing a lot to get that right. Because if they failed that, things would not have worked out very well if they didn't get that pulled off. So, good thing they did. And it was another good thing is that they had like two other ones to use as well, but that was a bit less of a, that needed a bit more of a both sides sort of touch, so they did that after they had one person cross. That way they had three of them to be more efficient and better. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with their strategy. I never would have thought of it. The only thing I thought of was like a with sort of thing that you could jump off and like glide, which would have been cool, but definitely much less feasible for these kids. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the overall strategy that they ended up using. Of course. And yeah, they all made it across. Some of them are pretty scared to cross, and I don't blame them at all. These are small children. This is a very scary thing. Not exactly the most, stable transportation there above a very large fall. But yeah, after all they all escaped, we got some flashbacks of Isabella. We saw her back in the plantation when she was a kid, and there was a guy there that seemed to have a crush on her. It was probably mutual, because we did have that baby. I don't know if that's his baby. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know how feasible that would have been to pull off, because you would think you would get shipped off before any of that's really possible. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Because we did see him get shipped off. So, I don't know. It'd be unlikely that he was able to do anything before that point, so probably not his kid if that's the thing. It may have just been... I don't know. I don't know exactly what the deal with that is. I would like some answers to that. Especially if, not if it's a spoiler or anything, but if I just didn't understand something, feel free to let me know. But we did see her go through the same sort of stuff that, Sister Cronad did as well. Very similar bits there, like in class and the lineup and stuff like that. You also got to see her with her hair down, which she looked a lot better like that. And she talked to Ray, and yeah, they kind of said that he was her actual child there, which was interesting because Ray's always been kind of special. He knew about everything from like the beginning, like he remembered things from being a baby or whatever. And if he's Isabella's child, that might explain why he's a little bit different in that regard. I still don't understand why, he got pregnant, or I don't know. I don't know how any of that worked really. I may, I may rewatch the episode to see if I missed something, but it's definitely interesting for sure. Is there anything else to say with the episode? I mean, Norman still didn't join us, so we don't know what the deal with him is, but I still think he's alive. We saw him, of course, but it was just kind of a hallucination from Ray. And I was like, there was a little bit of a hope in me that was actually Norman, and he just kind of was hiding nearby, waiting for the operation to get rolling, and he would just like climb up real quick, like, "Hey Norman," or yeah, "Hey Ray, I'm here to join you now that we're all ready to go." And he'd be like, "What? What? I thought you were dead. You're here. That's cool." Part of me was kind of hoping that's what was happening, but I knew that wasn't the case deep down, and he just eventually disappeared, and that kind of confirmed it. But But yeah, when they were talking to Phil earlier in the episode, and he was starting to cry, that kind of got me pretty close to tearing up, to be honest. Just Phil has not had a lot of lines in this show, so that was a pretty good scene for him. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about this episode. I was kind of hoping we would see, like the outside civilization a bit, because I am curious what it's like. Is it just like regular Japan, except we have monster salarymen walking around, so monster children playing at the park, everything else is basically the same. Is that the kind of world we're looking at here, or is it fully like a post-apocalyptic world? I don't know, because the monsters seem very civilized, So I don't know. I'm definitely curious exactly what that outside world is like, and that's kind of what I want to see. So I really hope this gets a second season. Out of every show this season, this one probably needs a second season the most because I want to know what happens next. Because this is not a satisfying conclusion to a show. It's just not, it's a fine conclusion to a first season of a show with multiple seasons, sure, but it is not an acceptable end to a show. Like, no, if this was actually intended to be the end of the anime, nothing else, and just a big fat go read the source material sign above it, then yeah, it would be pretty bad. But I hope that's not the case. I hope we do get a second season. So yeah, I guess I just thought this is the part where I talk about my thoughts on the show as a whole, I guess. Now, this show is one of the more hyped up shows of the season. I think this is one of the ones that I watched because people voted on it in the poll. I think it was, but yeah, I knew this was one of the more hyped up shows of the season. I wasn't sure why. I didn't really know much about it going into it. All I knew is that you know what did I know going into it? I don't think I really knew anything aside from that it took place like an orphanage or whatever. I think that's all I really knew going into it. I definitely didn't know anything about the a plot twist that it was gonna have, but you know, when a show is as popular and hyped up as this, you can usually assume things are going to be more interesting than they initially appear. Like this probably wasn't just going to be a slice of life anime about kids living at an orphanage, playing together and learning lessons about friendship and stuff. I didn't think it would be that, considering how much normie appeal this show clearly had. So I never really expected that. So I knew kind of something would unravel around it, and we get a better peek at what's really going on here. I didn't think we were I didn't think we were growing children to be harvested and consumed by monsters. I wasn't expecting that in the slightest. I just knew it would be a bit more serious and maybe a little bit more dark than it appears. But I wouldn't have known the specifics, of course, because I wasn't spoiled on it or anything. Yeah, we did get some shots of the monsters in this episode, though. Yeah, they are pretty scary. If just one of them ran into these kids, man, they would not be able to do anything against it. Like, not even the best fighter could handle these just behemoth creatures. Like, no wonder humanity lost against these things. I assume they're aliens. That's what makes no sense to me. But yeah, in a one-on-one fight, no weapons, but these things could like take on probably a dozen humans. Like, these things look pretty intense. But yeah, hope to learn more about the civilization. But anyway, the show as a whole, it's obviously a very, suspenseful thriller type show. Obviously building up to one thing throughout most of it, and that's escape. That's what pretty much the entire show has been built up around. Now, the first episode that showed us what was going on, and then they decided pretty quickly, okay, this is not okay. We need to leave. Okay, pack your bags. We're gone. But they ran into issues. You know, Mom didn't want them to leave. Mom figured out that they know what's up and they keep a close eye on her. Ray has kind of betrayed her. There's a big wall. There's a cliff beyond the wall. So there's tracking devices in the air. So there was plenty of things kind of working against these kids to the point where it's kind of unbelievable they actually managed to leave. But that just shows how impressive they are. He even brought in Sister Krona to help keep an eye on them. Of course, that didn't last for super long. She was fired at some point. But the point is, yeah, this Isabella really had things going in her favor, which is why she was able to have such a lax position on it, where she didn't even really tell Grandma about it, I don't think, initially, and, and all that stuff. But yeah, step by step, we worked on our plan, and then when a plan didn't work out, we either revised it or scrapped it and got something else. And yeah, we had to work on dealing with the tracking devices, which, some of us just cut off our ears. We had to worry about the wall. We had rope to climb that. We had to worry about the cliff. We either had to take the bridge or we had to get over the cliff. We opted to get over the cliff. We got, our cloth and rocks and threw them to get over that. And we had to have a distraction to make that even possibility. So we set the place on fire. We went through, tag training, as part of the training of escape. And we had to be realistic because I am glad that they decided to be a bit more realistic with that. They didn't decide to take the toddlers because that's really difficult. So it made a lot more sense to leave them behind and get them later. So that was smart. I do like that because it makes it a bit more grounded instead of the whole, yay, we're all friends and family here. Of course, we'll all escape together because that's the best scenario. So I do like what they opted to do with that. Because Emma really was pushing that for a while, but eventually she realized Norman's gone. She can't just be the the idealist, you know, the naive optimist, youthful optimist. She had to really figure out what's realistic and what's not. So I'm glad she kind of was able to compromise on her position on that a little bit, because you know she now kind of has to. Norman's gone. He's not there to be a middleman between Ray and Emma anymore. But yeah, so I do like that as well. So and that gives us a reason to come back here at some point, which I do hope that we do. Yeah. But yeah, and obviously plenty of plot twists and revelations along the way. Like, you know, like the Sister Krona thing, like how they were waiting outside the door, listening, and he's dropping in on it when they were having that one conversation with her to get them to know some of the stuff that's going on. So there was an extra layer to that scene, which I liked as well. That was one of my favorite reveals. The fake out with the fire and burning Ray was pretty good too. I liked how that was handled. Just Emma's acting was on point. Very good stuff. Let's see. We obviously found a little bit more about the outside world through books and stuff. There was like these I don't remember the name of the guy, but he was like giving some sort of hint through the book, so they were picking up on in that one scene. So that might be what we end up getting to at some point. Like that'll probably connect to wherever we end up outside the walls. Let's see. I don't know. I'm sure there's more to say on this show, but it's hard to completely recollect everything of a 12-episode show that you've watched in the course of 3 months off the top of your head. But yeah, you know, just the show did what it does pretty well. You know, the suspense and all that. Like some of those scenes, man, you were just like glued to your monitor, like wondering what would happen next. You know, the whole Ray betrayal thing was a pretty big deal, and I liked how Norman was able to smoke that out. That was pretty cool. But then it was revealed that Ray really is on her side, but he just kind of has to play both sides. And eventually we found out about the connection between him and mom. So that obviously adds another layer to that, which is cool. But yeah, just this is a really good show. Definitely one of the best shows of the season. Top 5, definitely. Did not disappoint in the slightest. Some pretty interesting characters. I mean, actually, I mean, not really. The only characters I really cared about that much were, you know, our main 3 and Sister Krona, because she was entertaining. She was a silly goofball sort of character. You know, some of her scenes were there was not a lot of comic relief in this show, which is why I appreciated Sister Krona. I know some people didn't like her. Some people definitely did not like her. And I wouldn't say I liked her per se, but I enjoyed her presence in the show because of what it added to it. If that makes sense at all. She was a fun comic relief character. You know, I remember when she played tag with everyone back in the day, and she's had that harvest line that Phil remembered. You know, they referenced that in the episode. You know, I love that scene when they play tag together, man. She just like boom with those boots, just running so fast and catching them, and yeah, I like that scene a lot. Sister Kuna she had some fun scenes. You know, she was obviously very creepy in a lot of scenes, especially with that baby and stuff, and yeah, she was one of the more interesting characters in the show. So I was a little bit disappointed when they killed her off. And Isabella, you know, most of my hatred is still directed towards her because she was the antagonist for most of the show. You know, obviously she's another human. She's just doing her job. She does care about the children. So it's not like she's pure evil or anything. So she's not the final boss, the main boss, or anything like that. But she has always been the face of evil in the show itself. That's probably going to change in like season 2 and stuff when we actually get to see more of these evil monsters. That will shift, of course. But inside this little pond, Isabella was the main bad guy. So I'll probably like her more in the future once we get away from that. And, you know, seeing the flashback definitely did help to humanize her a bit more. You know, to see that she did come from the same place as Emma and stuff. Which, of course, she did. You know, she's human like anyone else. But it really does bring that to the forefront when you see that sort of thing. You know, her being silly as a girl. You know, back in the place, climbing the tree. You know, then having to do the mom training and stuff like that. And somehow getting pregnant along the way. Still not exactly sure when or how that happened. But, you know, it clearly did. Let's see what else. I mean, it would be interesting to see other plantations. This is the kind of show that you could like have spin-offs and stuff if you wanted to. Like let's say the writer did not want to expand on this at all. He just like, yeah, the kids escaped. They probably lived happily ever after. The end. He could then like focus on a completely different plantation and do a completely different cast of characters, and then that could be the new show, those characters. Kind of like what they do with the Fate series, Fate Stay Night, where they can do similar sort of concept where they can just get a new batch of characters, a new batch of servants summoned, and have the same similar thing happen. Kind of like that. But I do think that we will just focus on them continuing, and they'll eventually make their way back to the here of the plantations and allow them to escape. Maybe. I'm definitely curious exactly where they will go, because they have to find some sort of human resistance to camp out at, because there's not a lot of places a big group of human kids can run around in a city and not be immediately spotted by police force, whatever they have police force wise, and arrested or brought back to their plantation, because they can look at the numbers and be like, hey, 731345672 blah 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 blah. You belong to this plantation, so we're gonna get you back over there. So yeah, they gotta be careful, and that's the only thing I can think of that they would do, or they find like a dump or something to hide in. But they don't have a lot of options. Let's just say that, because they don't even have any kind of adult with them to help them out, that like knows the outside world. And that's for a while. That's what I thought Sister Kona was gonna be. I thought for sure she was gonna be like, oh, well, I want to screw over their mother here, so I'm going to help these kids escape, and then I'll get them situated somewhere, and I'll come back, and then tell the higher-ups about how Isabella screwed up, and then I'll get a job as mom. I thought for sure that's how it would go, but I was clearly wrong on that one, as I usually am in these videos, if you're new here, by the way. But no, so they got to work it out for them if they want to find somewhere safe in this outside world. I think I heard the sound of a balloon popping, but whatever. Anyway, this was a good anime, that's my point, and I'm definitely just interested in watching more. I practically demand more, and that's always a good sign of a show, of course. So yeah, hopefully we get a Season 2. We did not get a Season 2 announcement at the end of the video. I don't think. I'll check again real quick. No, we pretty much just had the credits roll in. But yeah, it just completely just ended, after the credits, so yeah, hopefully we do get a Season 2. Some shows this season got Season 2 announcements, like Slime did, which is cool. But not this show. And this show is one that really needs one. Like, this is just so unsatisfying if it's just the end of the anime in general. So I hope that it's not, basically. Yeah, this is the end of my reaction video of this series. I had a lot of fun reacting to it. I hope you enjoyed my reactions. I know I'm not the most over-the-top reactor in the world, so I'm sure some people do find my reactions boring, but I do my best, I just kind of have fun watching the show. And I'll probably continue making videos next season, so, stick around if you liked what you saw here. Maybe you'll like what you see in the future. But either way, for now, this is goodbye. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.